Prison. We all think we know what it's about. A place for punishment, where people are locked away from society. But what if there's more to it than that? What if, behind the thick walls and iron gates, there's an entirely different story? One we rarely hear about? Today we're going to take you inside a place that's more than just holding people behind bars. Welcome to Central Jail, Karachi, one of the largest prisons in the world, home to over 7,500 inmates. But this place isn't just about confinement. It's a hidden world filled with secrets, struggles, and stories that most of us can't even begin to imagine. Built back in the 19th century, this prison operates with its own set of rules. But what happens inside, especially during Ramadan, when the line between confinement and freedom becomes blurred? We're here to uncover the unfiltered truth of what life is really like behind these walls. So what is it truly like when the doors slam shut? What goes on behind the scenes that nobody talks about? Stick with us, because what we're about to show you will change everything you thought you knew about prison. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned as we explore the hidden truths of Central Jail, Karachi. Central Jail, Karachi isn't your typical prison. It's not just a place where criminals are confined. It's a world all its own. Behind its thick walls and iron gates lie hidden sections, places only a few are ever allowed to access. These aren't ordinary cells. They are high security areas where the most dangerous and influential prisoners are kept. In these zones, everything feels different. Heavy iron doors lead to isolated wings where the most high-risk inmates are separated from the rest. Only a select few, including top-level officials and the most dangerous prisoners, have access. The usual sounds of the prison, the chatter, distant clanging gates, the murmur of guards, fade into an eerie silence as you step inside. These areas aren't just about maximum security, they're about total control. They house the prisoners who pose a serious threat not just to each other, but to the prison itself. Inside these fortress-like cells, isolation is not only physical, it's psychological, designed to break even the toughest minds. It's here, behind these doors, that the true power dynamics emerge. The power in prison isn't always in the hands of the guards. Sometimes it's the inmates who hold the real control. Through hidden alliances and manipulation, they control the flow of information and resources. How do these prisoners manage to manipulate the system? What does it take to gain power from behind bars? These are the kinds of secrets we'll uncover today. Inside Central Jail, Karachi, everything runs like a well-oiled machine. The operation isn't just about holding inmates, it's about managing an entire system. Take the iftar during Ramadan, for example. Feeding 7,500 inmates isn't a simple task. It requires precision, coordination, and a well-structured system to ensure that every inmate gets exactly what they need at the right time. Think about it. Food is prepared in massive vats, and every single portion must be measured, served, and distributed with extreme care. One mistake could create chaos. There's no room for error here. What's even more interesting is the role inmates play in this system. They don't just serve time, they work and they learn valuable skills. Prisoners in the kitchen are trained in cooking, serving, and managing complex operations. They're paid for their work, and it's far from just menial labor. But there's a deeper layer to all of this. Some inmates use their positions in the kitchen to build connections, to gain influence. Their access to food, supplies, and even other prisoners makes them powerful figures within the prison. This is where the true social structure of the prison is shaped. What may seem like just a meal break is actually an orchestrated event with deep implications for the order of the entire facility. Food distribution becomes a way to secure power, and a simple meal is more about control than nutrition. It's easy to look at a prisoner and label them as bad, but the truth is, not all inmates are the same. Central Jail, Karachi is home to people from all walks of life. Many have committed crimes, but not all of them are defined by their mistakes. Some inmates come here filled with regret. They aren't just serving time. They're using their time to reflect, to change, to learn. Prison becomes their chance to rebuild. One inmate shared, "Here I've learned that freedom isn't just physical, it's freedom in the mind. Freedom from the mistakes that haunt you." But not all stories here are about redemption. Loneliness, guilt, and remorse are constant companions in prison. In a place where social interaction is scarce and time feels endless, many are left alone with their thoughts. The missing voices of loved ones, the yearning for the freedom they once had. It can be overwhelming, and no amount of food or work can fill that void. Some find strength in isolation, while others battle their inner demons. There are moments of despair where the weight of their actions feels unbearable. But these feelings, though crushing, often become the catalyst for change. Transformation isn't easy, but in prison, some find a way to start over. The question is, can all of them? In this environment, mental survival is just as important as physical survival. For the men and women in these walls, every day is a battle, not just to stay alive, but to stay sane. And for many, this battle becomes their path to inner strength. But beneath the surface, prison life is ruled by forces you might not expect. Central Jail Karachi is not just a place of confinement, it's its own social system. And like any society, there are those who hold the power and those who fight to get it. In this prison, the most powerful people aren't always the ones you'd expect. Sure, the guards technically control the prison, but inmates wield power in ways you wouldn't believe. The kitchen workers and administrative inmates often have more influence over prison life than the people who are supposed to be in charge. These inmates control resources, from food to information. They run underground economies, trading favors, goods, and even information. Those with the right connections hold real power. The question is, how do these underground power structures affect the everyday life of an average prisoner? The answer lies in who gets protection, who gets favors from guards, and who controls the flow of goods. Those who master the system can manipulate their way to the top, while others struggle to survive in a world that's anything but fair. Surviving in Central Jail Karachi isn't about just following the rules. It's about outsmarting your rivals and navigating the system without becoming a victim. Prison is a psychological game. It's not just about physical strength, it's about mental resilience. Prisoners form alliances to protect themselves. Some align with others to avoid conflict. Others make deals with guards for protection or favors. But these alliances are always shifting, and a single misstep can cost you everything. Inmates have to adapt quickly to prison life. What works for one prisoner may not work for another. It's about understanding the unspoken rules of the prison, knowing when to act and when to lay low. Those who can manipulate the system gain an advantage, while others are left to fend for themselves. In this place, the question is always the same. How far would you go to survive? How much would you sacrifice to ensure your safety? As we close the doors on this journey through Central Jail Karachi, one thing is clear. Prison isn't just about punishment, it's about survival. But here's the bigger question. Can we truly create a system that rehabilitates rather than just punishes? How do we help those who've made mistakes find a way back into society, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally? Every inmate has a story. We may see their mistakes, but we must also see the potential for change. Rehabilitation isn't just about locking someone up and waiting for them to serve their time. It's about giving them a chance to rebuild. But the real question is, can we create a system that provides that opportunity? Stay tuned as we continue to explore these untold stories. We'll keep uncovering the hidden truths of prisons that have been kept locked away for far too long. And if you feel that pull to keep searching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a step in our journey to uncover what still hides on this earth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.